Welcome to our garment creation series. This is a quick start guide where we'll focus on the key techniques to get you creating basic garments in no time. You're watching part 2 of our 4-part series where we are designing jogger pants from a 2D pattern reference. Today we will focus on adding elasticity to the waistband and ankle cuffs. We'll start by adding internal lines to our waistband. We will use these for stitching, and they are also important in the gathering and shaping of the fabric. Right-click on the pattern outline, select Split, choose Uniform Split, and Input 3. This has evenly split the segment and added 2 points. Now, let's use those points to create our internal lines. Right-click on the point, select Add Perpendicular Internal Line, and select the Y-axis and hit OK. We'll do the same with the next point. Select the waistband, right-click, and we'll choose Layer Clone Over. This allows us to create a duplicate of the pattern piece and place it directly above the original pattern in the 3D window. Also, the outlines and internal lines of the cloned pattern piece are automatically sewn to the corresponding lines of the original pattern piece. Let's right-click again and remove linked editing. Select the pattern piece and let's extend it. By extending the top pattern piece, we are adding more fabric so that we can create wrinkles and folds once we simulate. Now, before simulating, let's right-click the waistband in the 3D window and we'll superimpose over. This function places the duplicated pattern directly on top of the original pattern according to the sewing lines. Because this pattern piece is sewn to the piece underneath, this helps us avoid any collision issues once we simulate. We see that we have created some padding on the waistband, but let's continue to push the details of the elastic. We'll start by changing our fabrics. Select the rib fabric and underneath physical property, let's change it to nylon featherweight. Next, let's duplicate that fabric and change its physical property to trim hardware. Select the original waistband pattern piece and assign it to the new rib fabric. Notice how once we change the bottom pattern piece to trim hardware, our waistband fits more snugly. Now we will change the particle distance so that we can bring out more of the detail of the elastic. In the property editor, change the top pattern piece to 5 and the bottom one to 10. Lowering these values can slow down your simulation, so choose a number that works best for you. Once we simulate, we see that we have tighter wrinkles and folds. This is the result of adding internal lines, layering, extending the pattern pieces, and lowering the particle distance. Let's take a moment to dive a little bit deeper into what particle distance is. A smaller particle distance means that the points are closer together, resulting in a denser, higher resolution mesh. This means that we can achieve detailed folds, creases, and overall smoother simulations, which is what we just saw with the waistband. To better visualize how particle distance affects our mesh, let's change the surface of our garment to wireframe on surface. We see how our pants are made up of a lot of triangles. In the 2D window, select the pattern pieces, go to the property editor, and underneath simulation properties, lower the particle distance. Notice how the triangles become smaller. The mesh is denser now, which will yield a higher resolution result. If we change the surface to thick textured surface and simulate, we can immediately see that the wrinkles and folds on the pants look smoother. Now let's work on adding elasticity to the ankle cuffs. For the most part, we will follow the same process as we did for the waistband. We'll start with the left cuff, right-click on the pattern outline, select Split, choose Uniform Split, and Input 3. Right-click on the point, select Add Perpendicular Internal Line, and select the Y-axis and hit OK. And then we'll repeat this process for the right cuffs. Let's take a look at our internal lines in the 3D window. Here we see that the lines are uneven, so let's adjust them in the 2D window. Select both points and let's drag them down until they are aligned. Now, let's select all the cuffs, right-click, and we'll choose Layer Clone Over. And then let's also remove linked editing. Select the pattern pieces and let's extend them. Right-click the cuffs in the 3D window and superimpose over. To refine the look, let's go ahead and assign the inner cuff pattern pieces to the rib fabric that we changed to trim hardware. This is the end of part 2 of our quick start guide. The goal of this series is to get you comfortable designing basic garments quickly in Marvelous Designer. In the next part, we will focus on adding pockets. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.